be back myself here at the Influence Hour. How are you doing? It's me, your host, Kinyo. I'm excited to be hosting this one with you guys. What is going on? So this is Influence Hour, the show where I talk about I have guests, influencers on the show where I talk about things that need to be changed. Right now, I'm thinking about so many different things. Like I'm looking at the world and I'm like, "Ooh, this is a good episode." Fabric. But before we get into that, once again, I'm Kinyo, poet, entrepreneur, artist, um, and musician. Check my music too. And yeah, and you can find me at www.kinyo.org. I'm managing the show over here. Over here, I'm managing. That's why I'm looking over here. Even my guests are going to be over here. I had a little thing I was putting my laptop on, but I'm going to show you the behind the scenes one day. But anyway, once again, you can find me at www.kinyo.org. You can find all the products that I make under the name Kinyo products, also services and different brands and businesses as well. All the stuff, everything I do, www.kinyo.org is the home for that. Also, shout out to the streaming service, the community platform, Project Forward. Check out Project Forward, www.projectforward.tv. And then, of course, check out Go Live with Kinyo at golivewithkinyo.projectforward.tv. You can get that link on my website too. And then shout out to the amazing shopping website. If you're looking to do shopping and you watch this show and you're like, you know what, I like Kinyo, I want to shop. I don't just want to watch a show, I want to shop. I want to see everything. What does he offer when it comes to shopping? I'm doing my shopping, but maybe I'm not getting unique stuff. Maybe I'm not connecting to the culture that I want. Well, go over to Laddington, www.laddington.com. Check out Laddington, and you will see my shop and everything that I'm doing there. Okay, let's get into the show, you guys, because you came here for another Influence Hour. I'm excited. My guest today is super awesome. She's been a guest, actually, on the Go Live with Kinyo Empire before. She was a guest at I believe it was called Go Live with Kinyo at that time. It was at Rebar and it was outdoors, and she came and it was super awesome. And I remember wishing that more people were here for that interview. So I'm glad I get to talk with her again because this is recorded and I can put clips up on TikTok and all kinds of stuff. So I'm super duper excited for that. I had to look at my phone because I think I made a mistake in the link that I sent her. I'm a good host, you guys. I'm a good host. Am I the best host? Yeah, I'd actually say that I probably rank pretty high on the list of hosting. But am I a perfect host? Definitely not. So anyway, I'm gonna Central Time. You know what? Oh, you know what? But anyway, this is 2 shows in a row where I've had to do what I do during the show and figure out how to invite people. If you haven't used Zoom yourself, I suggest you get on it. It's super duper awesome. No matter what you are up to, it just takes a little getting used to. But I'm excited for this guest because she is a major producer in the fashion world, and she does She does good stuff that I'm impressed with. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna email it too. I emailed it to her, but she said she was gonna do it on her laptop. But she does great stuff in the fashion world, and I can always tell people who have my same type of energy, who have um, my same type of um, you know, com- you're just you're combatant with the world. You're always pushing back. You're always trying to get certain stuff done. That is me. When I see it in other people, I'm like, okay, she's pushing. She's flagshipping. You know what I mean? She is figuring out how to do it no matter what. Um, I like that because that's me. I'm very much I'm very much an antagonist. But that's also kind of why I picked the name for this episode, which is fabric, because what I'm talking about today is a lot of what I think is going on wrong with our community. When I think about fabric, it makes me think community. Why are we so worried about what we wear? A lot of times, it's just insecurities about a lot of different things. Maybe we feel we're inside of our community, but community is what fabric makes me think of. We want to be woven together like a community. And a lot of the things we entrust our community to, i.e., Facebook, you're not going to hear me talk about social media badly for a lot of reasons, because truthfully, right now, I'm not even talking about social media. I'm talking about the way in which people are using social media. People use social media as if it was the way to keep in touch with their friends and family, when factually, that's just not what's going on. I think we need to reimagine community, because you might think, oh, you're keeping up with all these people, but you're not. That's an idea that these apps kind of make you think. You think because you're on Facebook that you're up to date with everyone that you've ever added as a Facebook friend, or that because you have people on Instagram that you're keeping up to date with everyone that you've ever had as a member of your community. And it just makes me think, well, no, that's not what those things are designed for. And what were people doing before these types of things? What was going on before social media? Not that I think social media isn't great. I think social media is amazing as a tool for connecting with people, doing super duper awesome stuff like Zoom interviews across the airwaves. But I think we need to get mindful and be like, all right, let's use these to augment the methods that we already use in our day-to-day life, instead of allowing them to become the main part of our community. If you allow Facebook to become, the heart of your community, I'm not sure if that is the best idea, because even take today, for instance, um, I just happened to be going through some of Facebook's term agreements, and lo and behold, if tell me what's up if Facebook didn't have inside of their um, agreement, if they didn't have that you could not advertise other one digital downloads. You're not even actually supposed to be advertising digital downloads on Facebook. Well, why would Facebook not want us to be able to share our music and promote downloads for music? It makes you think. And the reason is not for, see, I had the wrong link. I had the wrong link on the page. So for those of you guys who are trying to, if ever you jump in to the influence hour and you're like, oh, I wanted to get in, but I couldn't get in, make sure you email me or something, you know, cause a ruckus, so that I can hear from you, because a lot of times I just mess stuff up. But again, anyway, the apps are not designed necessarily to promote whatever it is that you're up to, you know. So you're using this platform as your basis for your community, when all along, you know, this platform has been a place for, you know, business, for these companies. You know, they're on there doing business, and so you have to think, okay, yeah, it's going to be a great tool, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be good enough for you to leave um, your whole thing on that platform. So it's just something to think about. And so, you know, what am I offering as an alternative? Because I'm not out here since the first influence hour. Since the first influence hour, I said I wasn't going to be out here just saying stuff to say stuff, just leaving people high and dry. Like I unfortunately, oh, okay, I thought I did it to my guest, but she just jumped in. Well, let's talk about it with her. Let's talk about it with her. Let's bring Coco on in here. I've kept her waiting long enough. I hope I've officially learned how not to. Okay. She's jumping in. She's jumping. She's still muted. Okay, the mute is off. I forgot what I was saying, so we're gonna have to just cancel that. Now we just need your video. Let me see if I can. Boom. Boom. Hello,
Hi.
Miss Coco. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing? I'm sorry I made it so confusing. It's all my fault, as I'm sure you know already. But yeah, definitely my fault. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was really good. It was really good. You're over here for me because I have you on a different screen from us. So sometimes if I'm looking at this, that's because I'm trying to look at your face while I'm talking. Whereas here, I'm trying to make it look like I'm looking into your eyes, even though I'm just looking at a camera. But anyway, but no, my Thanksgiving was
I
cool.
know.
My Thanksgiving was really, it was really cool. It was a very, you know, typical, you know, run of the mill Thanksgiving, except for, you know, we really did the food aspect. We had the foods there, and we didn't even have that many leftovers. It got to like, it lasted till like Sunday, but that was basically it. Most of the stuff was gone. How about you? How's your Thanksgiving?
I didn't even finish my first plate. I helped my sister and brother-in-law cook, and well, about the time we sat down and ate, like I was pretty much like done. I didn't even get seconds. I didn't get thirds. Like nothing. Like I was just, sometimes you cook, and when it's time to eat, it's like you lost your appetite somehow. Like through the
Oh
process
yeah,
of cooking and tasting.
probably because you're tasting. Do you taste while you're cooking? Do you taste as you cook? I think it's slowing down there for a second there. I'm losing you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, some
Okay, cool.
I can hear you.
Okay, do you taste while you cook? That's probably what it is. Anyway, I don't need to go too into that. But let's get into the topic of the show. I'm glad to have you back. Let me introduce the people to you again. This is the second time you've been on a Go Live with Kinyo type show. Of course, the first time was in person.
Yes, I remember the first one.
Yeah. That was cool at Rebar. But I'm glad I got you on this one. And I think like I didn't even get to really record that one, so I'm glad I get to record this one with you. Um, Yeah, so you're super duper awesome, and you know, I love everything that you're doing. I want to hear. Let me catch up because we didn't catch up, you know, before this. What were you up to, right before everything happened with everything that you do, your brands, and then what are you up to right now?
Right now, like just honestly, just watching COVID really. Like we had stylish Saturdays that was supposed to happen, and we kept like watching like everyone else, like like COVID, like are we gonna be able to do it or not? But we didn't end up getting to do it because of COVID. Like we couldn't. I know some people are doing like virtual like fashion shows, but I love like I'm very theatrical like shows, like the lights and the music and just the models, and I just couldn't do the virtual fashion show that some people were doing. I mean, I've watched some of them, but it just wasn't for us. So right now we're just at a standstill because it's like, mm, like, what are we going to do? Like, I have projects in my head and written down that I want to do, but right now it's like, I thought I had a green light for a moment or maybe a yellow light. Like, I thought maybe
Right.
things were like, okay. I kind of have this project in my head. I've kind of have picked out a venue, talked to the venue, try to do it social distance. I'm just waiting to see if it still might happen. If it does, I've already set it up for September of 2021, but we'll have to see. I want to keep it a secret because I want everybody to be surprised. But
Yeah,
that's where I'm at with that.
it's not going to
Stylish
be a secret.
Saturdays.
I'm gonna edit
That's
this clip
part.
out and put it right there, so it's not a secret. But no, that's cool. You know, that was a big roadblock for me. Obviously, you know, like with art and stuff like that, I was like, how do I want to, you know, because I love performing, I love doing live events. And I was like, for me, even watching live performances, I was like, I don't like live performances. Like, I wouldn't really sit down and chill and watch like a live performance. To me, I didn't think that that was the same thing when it came to music. And so I didn't really do any live stuff until I started this show last or a week before last week or something like that. Because I was just really watching and feeling stuff out, and I still feel I think the way that you're going with it is perfect. And I think it's just like it's really just about like a new level of awareness of hygiene and like okay, how can we social distance? How can we create a bubble for you know the people who are involved to where we kind of have some kind of level of control and stuff like that. So it's definitely interesting. How about right before the pandemic? What were you up to?
So we were up to Stylish Saturdays, Volume 6. We were ready to
Did you have to
have a
finish one,
production. It
or
was
did you just finish one?
mm,
Had you just finished one, or were you just about to do one?
oh, we had so our last one was at the San Antonio Food Bank. We had
Yeah.
that one before that. And that one went pretty well. We did like a day brunch and then we had the show in the evening. And that one was the theme of that one was we decided to do all local black designers and local boutiques, and it went really well. We did like a little now that we're doing kind of like a Project Runway type of feel to it. We decided to have local people, like kind of like a staff, not a staff, but more like I wouldn't say a contest, just to develop the designers more and to give them something to look forward to. So we kind of had just like where I don't want to say contest because I feel so weird. We kind of just had like local designers, local boutiques, people in the fashion industry that we felt were to a certain standard, and we had them basically look at the designers and boutiques collection as a whole, and then We had where we gave best of cohesive with the designer, like cohesive marketing style, like if they could, like kind of like looking at it as a buyer. And then we had one with the boutiques, basically just like best of collection and style, and then monetary price from that. Because we wanted, especially with designers, local boutiques, we wanted to give something back to them to being part of Silent Saturdays. So now we're having those each time that we have one. We're going to give away a monetary prize for them, something for them to look forward to, something to also help them financially, because it goes a lot into being a designer, even a boutique, because you're as a designer, you're besides coming up with sketches, you're doing the patterning, you're buying fabric, you're embellishments. Like it goes into it's a lot of work, it's a lot of money. The same thing with boutiques, they have to buy. I'm thinking they buy wholesale, they buy from vendors. It's a lot of money, so it's something to like give back to them, and, appreciate it for being a part of it. Just help them out, because times are tough. You can put that back into their brand, or even for something personal. So we decided to start doing that, and they people are getting more involved. They're like, hey, like I'm paying this fee to be part of a show, but I'm also having a chance of winning some money to put back in my pocket. So it's something just to look forward to, and just every time trying to be more innovative, bring something different to the table, which hopefully we can with this show that hopefully comes out in September of 2021. But right now, me and my staff are at a standstill because of COVID. We're trying to figure out the best, healthiest way, safest way to hopefully have Salad Saturdays Volume 6, with social distancing and people wearing masks. We're probably going to do something where people will come in little groups at a time, instead of it being like where it's open to the public. Will probably be invite only, maybe give a couple giveaway tickets, but it's going to be more smaller. I mean, that's just what we're looking at in the industry as a whole, like planning, just be more innovative, planning differently, not being able to have such bigger crowds like we would like, just having to put on your thinking hat, really, when it comes down to it. Where
Yeah.
so able do you have still have events, but how can you make them, where everyone is safe and able to enjoy themselves?
I love that. No, yeah, and thank you for breaking that down, that little chunk of thoughtfulness. I'm sure that'll help at least someone who's working through the process themselves, or thinking about it, or whatever, because it is definitely tricky. Okay,
Yeah.
super duper. I love that. I love that, I love that you guys are finding ways to do it. I love the giving back part with the prize money. I think that is one of the that's a really important move. I think, especially if you're noticing, maybe in San Antonio, it's like, yeah, I want the industry to get to that place. And that's a really good way of reinvesting back into the industry and helping it literally become something.
Yeah,
So
I mean, because that's just like in any field, whether you're a local, any type of local artist, whether, you're a musician, you're an actual artist, whatever medium is, like you want to eventually make, money. So it's, a way for them to make money in a way and, invest it back into their brand.
yeah, I love it. Okay, I got. Now I'm gonna get you into the rapid fire questions. So first, I'm gonna start off with a question about your growth over the past 3 years, and then I'm gonna get into something that you're excited for, and then I'm gonna ask you my main question of the show, which, um, yeah, that's the last question. But first, the first question: growth over the past 3 to 5-ish years. I think I changed the time limit every single time. What were the biggest points? What are some of the biggest things that you've grown from in your journey in these past 3 or so years?
Well, when I first just started production, period, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, honestly, I was in school. I originally went to school to become a fashion designer, and I found out very quickly that that wasn't my forte. Like, but I went ahead and finished the degree because I was like, this is going to help me somewhere in life. I'm not a quitter. I like to finish what I start. So I finished it, and then I went back and did the production and merchandise side of it. That's what I do during the day, visual merchandise. But as far as uh, my business side, as far as my personal company, I started off with Augusto Cellier. He's a local designer here. I start with him being just like back production and being a dresser. And I was like, I really like back production. So I just started doing that for a while, just, learning how it all, comes together. And then finally one day I decided to do my own show. And I thought it went pretty well. It was a student production show, so I was still in school. I learned a lot about fashion production when I was at IDT because I was a student producer there. So I was producing all the student fashion shows that we had, whether they were inside the school or outside of the school. So I learned a lot just, as far as like, getting the venue, dealing with back production, dealing with models, booking talent, making sure, every timing's everything. That's one of my biggest rules. I told my staff that if we're 20 minutes late, the show is 20 minutes late. Like we're always, what time is it? We're, 5 minutes to this, second minutes to this, because nobody wants to wait. You imagine your audience out there waiting on you. So I try and make sure, we're always on time. So that's what I've learned a lot is just being on time with, my shows. I've learned to also delegate better. I've learned to also get help. When I first started doing shows, I was a one-woman show. I was doing literally everything myself, from booking the models to booking the designers to booking the venue, like hair, makeup, like you name it. Like I was just running around exhausted. And one day I was like, because I have a type A personality. So I was like, you know what? I have to learn to let people in my world. So I got some assistants. I got a coach, a runway coach, model driver, Jessica Michonne Models. Shout out to her. So yeah, I got people to help me, people that believed in my vision, believed in my dreams, just like I believed in theirs. So it goes hand in hand. Jessica does the booking for the models. She finds the talent. She does the training with the girls and guys on the runway. So I'm able to, give her my vision. This is what I want the runway look like for this show. And then, hair and makeup, give them my vision as well. So I've learned to let people in. So that's, was a big part of my growth. I've learned to also, the show must go on. Sometimes we have things that happen, it's out of our control. Our last show, our designer that was supposed to close out the show, she had a personal situation, wasn't able to make it, and we had to just roll with the punches. And it was like 5 minutes to the show open. So it's like you just have to go with the flow sometimes. I've learned to be less rigid with that because, I have plan A, I have plan B, I have plan C. Sometimes, I have to learn to let go of all the plans and just, go with it, whatever it may be. And most of the time, it's usually, need people tell me like, oh, this went wrong, this went wrong. Because I already know it went wrong. Like I'm sitting there, watching my shows that happens. And I'm like, oh, I should have did that. Or, like they're not, people get nervous sometimes, things go wrong. And you're thinking like the audience notices it, but most of the time they don't, because they don't know what you're planning. Only that mistake, or that wasn't the right song, or that was supposed to go longer. So just kind of learning to roll with that. I feel like now, where I'm at now, I feel more secure in myself because I've gone through a lot of ups and downs with it. I've had people tell me like, wow, like you're more relaxed. You're more, you smile more, you're having fun with it. I used to be very like serious about it. I've learned to, have fun with it and actually enjoy it. So I feel like that's like a big part of my growth. And also talking to people, because a lot of times I have tunnel vision. Like when I'm at shows, I'm just like, okay, point A, point B, point C. I've actually learned to like talk to, the guests that come and even, mingle with some of the models. And yeah, just learn to let my hair down a little bit.
Awesome, man. That's super duper awesome. I love that. Yeah, especially the roll with the punches part. I'm gonna clip that out. The production experience, time management, super duper awesome. Okay. So excitement. What is something that you are excited to get back to doing, or excited to do some kind of new iteration on something? Anything?
I'm excited if this show gets to happen because what I have in my head, if everything goes well, it's going to be I'll put it this way, a very binary musical experience. If things happen the way I wanted to, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the venue that I have because it's very beautiful. It's very colorful. It's like you're gonna feel like you're in a different world. I have someone that's going that I usually use a DJ, but I have someone that's going to be curating the music to the what should I say? The creative side of it. So I'm excited for it. Just hoping that it happens. It's like it's around the edges. Like people always can tell when I'm about to have it. So it's like people know that it's coming. It's just like a matter of when and what time because of COVID. It's like, I just like, once again, got to roll with the punches. But I'm excited for it. I'm also excited for other projects. I have a boutique. I'm going to be curating and producing a spring show for them. So I'm excited for that as well. Trying to think. I think I have another. I have another project in my head. It's like one day at a time. So first things first, Stylish Saturdays Volume 6, hopefully September 2021. And then the show that I'm going to be doing for this local boutique. So first things first, hopefully those two projects come out and do well. So I'm excited for those.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I love the retail space. Anyway, I won't get into that. And I think that's really cool. Okay, so before I ask my last question, I'm actually interested. You haven't thought about, have you thought, or what have you thought about the idea of doing, like producing specials or like they had that Mike Tyson fight, the way that they did that, where it's a closed set and doing it on a set and maybe recording or going live. And I know you're doing hybrid, or not so much hybrid now. You're trying to do social distancing. Have you thought about that at all? That angle of it?
Yes, I would. I was thinking about the last show that we did. This show, I do want to do some kind of like virtual live stream because I know that there's people that want to be a part of the experience, but the social distancing, COVID, just being safe and healthy. I totally get that. So I plan on having this show, hopefully with the venue's permission. I will say that because I'm not. I'm hopefully they will let me live stream it, but I want to live stream the show so that people at home could have the opportunity to see it as well. Because like I said, not everyone, even sometimes you do have safe social distancing, things. Some people still don't feel safe. There's people that have been like in their house since March. So, so yeah. So I'm gonna live stream the show. I've been saying that I'm gonna live stream the show and see how that goes. That's exciting. I'm trying to think of anything else that we're doing differently besides like the music being different. It's just gonna be different. We're trying to be different and bring just fabulousness and fresh ideas and just always trying to be innovative and finding new talent. I love finding new talent. So that's one of my favorite things is finding new designers, finding, local boutiques that didn't exist before. I was thinking one time of doing a fashion podcast, but I don't know. I'm not that technology savvy.
To do that.
I've been told I should have one.
Before the end of the year, I hope you start one of those. It's so easy. Go to anchor.fm. That's what I do. It's so cool, like, and it can be a little extra revenue stream with Anchor the way that they do it.
Yeah, I was like, I might need your help because I'm not that fashion savvy. But I've been wanting to do like a fashion like podcast or something on YouTube, just like something local where I like interview local designers and like just people in the fashion industry. So I know a lot of people, I have a lot of friends. I figure, do some type of platform where they can, their voice can be heard and they can talk about their brands and their ideas, like where they're at as well. So I'm gonna try to get that up and running. Me and my friend Luis were talking about doing one. So hopefully, this is a really good time, especially the times we're in, get that running and going.
Definitely. By the end of the year, it's a must. It has to happen because it's such
I'm like fresh ideas for 2021.
Oh, you already have such a great platform. So to me, it's a no-brainer, like extending that to a podcast so that you can just continue doing you're creating conversations, like I see even from the one that I went to, that was even a while back. And so I know, and I've seen some stuff from the other ones that you did, but I just know you're creating, livelihoods, for people in this industry. And so to extend that to where that they get to get published, on a podcast, that's a no-brainer to me. And you're gonna kill that. That's gonna be awesome. I'm sure you already have the resources, the contacts, all the stuff that make it really hard. You already have. Now it's so easy with technology. Okay.
Yes.
My final question of the show, Influence Hour. I was going to ask you a question because the name of the show was Fabric, and I talked a little bit before you got on there because I didn't let you on right away because of I did bad technical difficulty stuff. But anyway, I was talking about fabric, and I was like, the fabric of the community, and clothing is so interesting. I've been thinking about it recently, and it's fascinating when you think about how much it defines how we feel about ourselves, and how much of a language it is, and how much, and I think sometimes for me, I haven't thought about it that much, because I'm like, oh, I just chill, I wear chill clothes, but that's even part of my culture, because I grew up watching, skateboarding and stuff like that, and I kind of dress like a skateboarder a little bit, where I don't put too much attention, I kind of just wear whatever, lots of jeans and stuff like that. And so, and it's important to realize these things about yourself because you're talking about yourself with your clothes all the time. And more importantly, you're creating community. There's so much about community. And I was even going to get into, or I did get into how, I think sometimes right now we're allowing companies like Facebook to be the fabric of our community. That's not really what it's set up to do. It is set up to be a communication tool, but it's also a business. And so they're protecting their own interests. And I wonder how it is that we go about, keeping the fabric of the community, something that's based off of culture and not necessarily lean too much on a crutch like a communication technology. So I'm curious, when I ask you this last question, maybe it'll give us some insights, even though it doesn't seem related. Let's see if we get some insights on it. The question that ends Influence Hour as I interview influencers is, what's your favorite product that you purchased in the last 24 hours?
My favorite product that I purchased in the last 24 hours. Yes. Probably my I'm a product junkie. So it's probably my curling gel. So it's by Curls Unleashed. It smells like lavender and aloe vera. I love this hair gel. Like I'm obsessed with it. I have curly hair, so I'm like, shout out to natural curly hair girls. I'm obsessed with curly hair products. So every time I go to the store, I'm like, I need that or want that. But I love that one. That's like my go-to. So yes, it's by Curls Unleashed. It is a curl boosting gel, and it has lavender and aloe vera in it. And your hair smells like perfume. It's amazing. I love it.
Ooh,
That
boom.
and lipstick. I got to wear lipstick on Zoom because I can't wear lipstick in real life. So I was excited to wear some lipstick today.
Super awesome. Yes, and we appreciate it. We appreciate it so much, and I appreciate you coming out to the show. Where can they?
Yes, always a pleasure.
I love that product too. But anyway, yeah, where can they find you?
So they can find me on my Instagram. Well, I have a Stylish Saturdays. They can find me that one. They can also find me on my personal Instagram, which is Regina_W. And they can also find me on Facebook under Coco Warren, or my other Facebook, Stylish Saturdays, or Coco Productions.
Boom.
I have a lot. I'm a multitasker.
Check out. I mean, if they're watching this, they know about me too. I got plenty too. That's how we do it. You guys check out Coco on. Do people call you Coco or people call you Regina? Which one do people call you most? I'm sure
Everyone calls me Coco except for certain people in my family. My mother does not, or my father, or my siblings. Well, my younger sister Bianca does, but my older sister, my middle sister, she's gonna get mad at me. My middle sister does it, but my nephews do. Most of my friends do. It's just like a few, and like my job, of course, I work at, but majority of people call me Coco. Okay, yeah, cool. It just depends. Everyone has nicknames for me. I have like Gigi, Gina. I have tons of nicknames, but yeah.
That's how it goes. You guys check out Coco. Follow Stylish Saturdays. Check out the past ones. Google it, and then get ready for the new one. Whether it happens in 2021 or whatever, just stay tuned. Follow Coco. Get on.
Yes, stay tuned. It's gonna happen. We just don't know when, but it's gonna happen.
She is the fashion entrepreneur that I'm watching right now, so you guys should check it out too. So this was a really great episode. I liked all I went abstract with the fabric, the community stuff. I loved you put in so much real stuff that I think someone listening, if they're getting into fashion or event production, I think they could take some nuggets out. So I'm super happy with that too. It was a really great episode. And then at the end of it, we found out that it was all really, really about curling gel. So this special lavender scented curling gel. That was your favorite product. And I think that's really cool. Because actually, if you think about it, there's a huge community for that too. I see that there's a lot of communities around, especially natural hair. There's a lot of discussion around it, but then there's a lot of community around hair. I don't do much with my hair. I need to get into a community for men who cut their own hair, because I cut my own hair. And I don't have anyone. A lot of
guys do, and then especially with COVID happening, a lot of them had to learn how to cut their own hair.
Yeah. So I mean, you just opened up something new for me to think about, the community around my hair as well as what I wear. All right. Well, thank you so much, you guys, and thank you so much, Coco. We're all gonna just sign off together, and we'll catch you on the next Influence Hour. We'll see you on the next post Stylish Saturdays event. See you guys there.
I had a good time.
Thank you so much.